Yo, what is good, YouTube, and welcome back to another JC2K video. In today's video, we're going to be building the best team possible for less than 1 million MT in NBA 2K24 MyTEAM. So, for context, 1 million MT this year, buying it from MyTEAM, buying it from 2K, I should say, costs $150, but obviously you can grind MT, so I wouldn't recommend just buying a million MT on any sort of consistent basis. But this is kind of just a team that gives you a good picture of what you could buy if you decided to just pick up MyTEAM one day and get yourself a great squad, or maybe even grind offline and you want to get yourself a top tier team. This could do it right here with a million MT. This is going to be an amazing squad with some of the best cards in MyTEAM on it, and a team that can compete at a competitive level. Before we hop into the video, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Help me push towards the 14,000 subscriber mark on the channel. I upload every single day, and I would really appreciate it if y'all do subscribe. With that being said, without further ado, let's hop right into it. Starting off with the starting point guard position. Again, I think I've been hyping this card up a lot recently, but for good reason. Jason Kidd, man, he's a dog. He plays such good defense. Best defensive PG in the game. Defensive animations are amazing. 6'4" with a massive player build, 6'8" wingspan. He's so big and so versatile defensively. Doesn't get attacked on the interior the way that other PGs do with a 70 interior. Good perimeter, lateral, and steal. Great perimeter, lateral, and steal, actually. Playmaking badges are okay. No speed booster, but I don't really care. His release is smooth enough. Defensively, he's a monster. Best defensive PG in the game for sure. Release is smooth, and it is on quick, and it is easy to grain. His movement even is okay as well. Steph dribble style isn't bad. Overall, J Kidd, pretty darn good card. Very impressed with him as a guy who plays his role at a very high level at PG. And you can play him next to a guy like Dr. J at the 2, which is a really nice matchup. By the way, this assumes you don't have Kyrie. Let's say you've been grinding the game, or maybe you bought the half pass or combination of 2 or whatever. You get Kyrie, you throw him in here, bring J Kidd off the bench, and this team is absolutely cooking. But Julius Erving, 86 speed and excel, 95 vert, 98 driving dunk, 70 shot 3, but a money release, high interior, very good perimeter defender, and lateral quickness. Another really good defensive card with super nice defensive badges, including some of the best ones in the game. Gold break starter, silver handles for days, gold hyperdrive, gold posterizer, acrobat, and precision dunker. Sorry, Hoff posterizer, acrobat, and precision dunker as well. A money release, John Wall base Rudy Gay upper is one of the best releases I've seen all year. John Wall's jumper this year is crazy fast. MJ dribble style is really good as well. Of course, overall, I mean, he is just an absolutely phenomenal option at the shooting guard position, and he is one of the best couple shooting guards in MyTEAM. 140,000 MT for Dr. J, as we all know. At the 3, another 140K. We're throwing in Scottie Pippen. We got the MT for it. We're spending it. Best small forward in MyTEAM is Scottie Pippen. We got him on the squad. 6'8", 7-foot wingspan, 86 speed and excel, 76 shot 3, 85 driving dunk, 75 interior, 93 perimeter, 93 lateral, 86 steal, 82 speed with ball. Defensively, he is an absolute monster. Offensively, he is capable. Silver posterizer, does have good speed, a money release. His release is one of the smoothest in the game. I love some of these releases, and Scottie Pippen is another one, just like Dr. J, that I just think is absolutely one of the best releases at their position as well. In addition, just overall, I think he's a really good card, and I think you're definitely looking at one of the best options at the small. Really, I think he's the best small forward in the game for sure. Honestly, I think he's just absolutely incredible as a 3-and-D option, but also athletic and fast and just an absolute monster. At the 4, I'm going to put Anthony Davis here. I think AD for most people's lineups honestly plays at the 5. For this team specifically, I'm actually going to throw him at the 4. 6'10", 7'5" wingspan, 72 speed and excel, 74 shot 3, 85 standing, and 85 driving dunk. Finishing badges are really nice. But defensively is where he's really at his best. He's got great interior block, lateral quickness, half anchor and post lockdown, silver brick wall. He's an elite defender. By the way, 43 steal. You don't notice that really. I don't feel like it, at least. I feel like he still steals the ball. I mean, lanes are kind of broken on this game in general at times, but I feel like he steals the ball fine. Release has improved this year. They made his release better. I really like AD. I think he's a beast at the point guard, or at the small power forward position, or at center, either one. And again, power forward position with a lot of good free cards as well. Draymond Green, Jabari Smith, some guys you can plug into your team at the power forward position. If you didn't want to use a guy like AD, or if you wanted to put Draymond there, put AD at the 5. For this team, though, we're actually going to put Hakeem at the 5. I understand he's an inside big, but I think he's good enough as an inside big to deserve a spot on this team. 63 speed and excel is low. 40 shot 3 is terrible, but the speed is not bad. He's a true 7-footer with an incredible player build, a 7'3" wingspan, and just amazing length, amazing player build, half anchor, incredible interior center on both ends of the court. He's probably the only guy who's going to truly match up against Shaq on the interior. Doesn't have the speed of a Shaq, but he's very similar to Shaq on the interior, offensively and defensively, with how dominant he can be and how good he is. Maybe not quite as dominant of a dunker, but defensively still incredible. He's an amazing rebounder, and he plays really, really well as a whole. I was so impressed by this card when I did gameplay with him, and I think he fits in a lot of people's lineups for yet another 140,000 MT. Couple more 140,000 MT players. These last few spots, these last three, are more budget, but we are taking advantage of this budget, man, and getting ourselves a ton of great Amethyst players. 6'3" with a 6'8" wingspan is this Amethyst Derrick Rose. 94 speed and excel. Best thing about him is the half speed booster, in my opinion. Moves really nicely. Great playmaking badges. Elite slasher. Release is really slow on D Rose, which is why I don't love the card, is because his release is really mediocre. But defensively, he's also not amazing. I actually do prefer Jason Kidd over Derrick Rose. I would start J Kidd. Honestly, again, like I said, if you have Kyrie, just run Kyrie and then bring J Kidd off the bench, and that'll work just fine too. But I still think Derrick Rose is a great card, and if you have the MT to spend, you need another point guard option. Derrick Rose is going to be a phenomenal option for you and your squad. At the backup two, going with Vince Carter again, 140,000 MT for a top tier shooting guard. All three Showtime players are on this team, and that's because they're all phenomenal. Vince is also a very, very good card. He's a better shooter than Dr. J, still has a great release, nice and fast, still an incredible finisher. Not as good of a defender as Dr. J, couple defensive badges, decent perimeter stats, not as good of an interior defender, but it's kind of a trade-off. Like, you don't get quite as good defense with Vince, but you get a little better offense and a little bit better shooting as well. And they're both hyper athletic. Vince is a great card, though, still holds it down defensively. I think he's really, really nice on this team. I think he's a monster. I was using him this whole past week. I did wind up selling him eventually. I pulled him out of the Amethyst option pack last week. Did wind up selling him eventually, but it was definitely, I mean, he's a good card. He's a very good card. Was very, very impressed with him as a whole. Nice release, good movement, just overall a really, really good card. At the three, this is where we start to go budget, and when I say budget, I mean budget. Jordan Walsh is 5.6 thousand MT, which is way cheaper than everyone else in this team who's been Ruby and up so far. 5,600 MT, 77 speed and excel, 74 shot 3, 80 driving dunk. Isn't nothing that jumps off the page, but 80 plus on all the key interior and perimeter defensive stats. He's got silver clamps. He's got good defensive badges, bronze interceptor, a money release, dunks the ball really well, good enough speed to keep up with the center, with the small forwards. He's not Scottie Pippen, but for 5.6 KMT, he can literally compete against any small forward in the game. I love him as a lock. He can guard on the interior pretty well. He rebounds well. He's nice and athletic. Does not feel slow. Really smooth, easy to green release. Just an absolute monster of a budget card. Speaking of cheap monster budget cards, Emerald LaFonso Ellis also on this team for 7,000 MT. Another amazing, really versatile defensive budget card with good speed. Good. He's a capable shooter, not amazing, but he can hit open. That's which is all you need him to do. Silver posterizer, good dunker, very, very good all-around defender. Again, both on the interior and the perimeter. He and Jordan Walsh are actually very similar. Even has bronze anchor and brick wall, which is really nice to have, as well as the gold pogo stick, workhorse, and chase down artist. Really helps him out a lot on the interior. Release is not incredible, but it is pretty good. And he also has tray escape for some reason, which I think is kind of funny. That's a nice little, I guess, addition to have, although not too useful because he's not that great of a playmaker. But he's a really good budget power forward. And again, a 7K is a great price. Backup center, going with one of these Series 1 players. I think DeAndre Ayton is your best option at the center position. He's got mid-60s speed and 3-ball, which is more than good enough for me. Good size at 7 foot with a 7'4" wingspan. Kind of a similar player build to Hakeem, to be honest. Not nearly as good defensively as Hakeem, but he can hit an open three. He's still good dunker. Doesn't have nearly as good badges either, but he's a very, very good Ruby card and definitely will still hold the job, hold it down at the backup center position. Costs about 42.5 thousand MT to get all the Suns cards and lock him in. So with that being said, that is going to do it for this video. This team winds up costing 979.1 thousand MT, just under a million MT, and it is an amazing team that doesn't include any free cards. We haven't thought about guys like Kyrie or Brandon Roy, or even a Clyde Drexler, Draymond Green, Jabari Smith, Chris Paul, Dylan Brooks, etc., etc. Guys that you can substitute in your lineup to fill spots and things like that. But yeah, this is an amazing team. This is a competitive level squad for a million MT that I really, really like, with some of the best cards in the game, especially guys like Dr. J, Pippen, AD, Hakeem, Vince. Crazy good cards on this squad. So hopefully y'all did enjoy this video. If you did, make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. I'll be back with more 2K content very, very soon, and I appreciate y'all. Peace.